What's going on, shipmates? We are back at it. We are in Apex Global today. So, today's video, we got two new Mimic SSR pluses. Actually, my fault. Three Mimic SSR pluses to review and look over. We're also going to talk about this right here. The Mimic UR Stellars. They are coming like soon. I'm going to kind of go over all this information with you right now. But essentially, I'm going to kind of go over like what a Mimic UR is. There's going to be two different banners for them, stuff like that. Going to go over that, the info on it, when it's going to start, all the info we got on it now. So I'm going to start at this point. So if you haven't actually, you can read this yourself as well. We're just going to start here actually and just go with the video. So when you log in, you know, you got your little info announcement banner right here. When you start, I've been skipping it. It looks like it's been up for maybe like a week or two. Of course, the Academy Festival is here. We know about that one. That's been going on already. All those good sources. And then, of course, they have the official launch from when it first came out. So, but we are here to talk about the UR mimics. So let's start with this. So what is a mimic stellar? Now, this is all good information. Like I said, if I go over it too fast, or maybe you just want to read it for yourself or something like that. Oh, excuse me. It is in this first box when you pop up, when you log in and start the game. So a Mimic UR is a higher rarity than the Mimic SSR pluses. So essentially, it's the next level tier, and it's also the highest tier in the game. So if you don't know the tiers, it's going to be R, then it's going to be SR, your SSR, which are going to be your yellow or gold color, whichever one you prefer. And then from there, it goes into your SSRs, red, and then there's going to be your SSR pluses. And then on the same level, well, technically, SSR red and SSR pluses are kind of the same. There's like it's like a smaller group that's just, they're kind of in the same banner anyway, so it's same but not same. And then above that, you got your Mimic SSR pluses. Now, the Mimic SSR pluses are about a good 20% more increased stats, base stats. And what I mean by base stats, I mean like when you draw the stellar and you get it like level 1, pretty much. Those base stats starting point are going to be about 15-20% higher than the regular SSR plus reds. I just say reds just because that's the color. I believe they just keep it the same, SSR. I think limited is what they call it in this one. I'm not 100% sure. We might see it here in a little bit. Anyway, and then above that Mimic SSR plus is now the Mimic URs. So that is what it is. Like I said, the highest rarity in the game. So now, when it comes to the Mimic UR, now we're just talking about the URs, there are two different ones. As you can see here in this picture, there is the Mimic UR Development and Mimic UR Perfect. So let's talk about the development, because that's going to be most of us right now. Because Mimic UR banner hasn't necessarily come just yet, or maybe it has, I'm not 100% sure. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but they're going to do that first. And this is where, like I said, most of us are going to be in this boat, because I hopefully by now you have at least one Mimic SSR plus. I have one. I just have the one that I've been able to get, just because it has been a very, very high pity summon, 250 summons to get the guaranteed pity. So a lot of grinding, a lot of saving tickets, stuff like that, and then reading, reviewing, and seeing who to actually go for. So there's that one. So the development, let's talk about the development first, because it kind of breaks it down into what they are, the two different. All right, so this is going to be, we'll start here. This is the base, what I was talking about. So the Mimic URs, their basic attributes are increased about 25% than the Mimic SSR pluses. Their skills, now the first one was basic attributes, so just like their HP, attack, defense, speed, just the basics, 25% increase. Now their skills are stronger than the SSR plus versions, and it's about 40%, as you can see here. They also have new mechanics that changes when they become UR, so they can have different buffs, debuffs, etc. They could do different amount of percentage damage. They could give shields or even healing. And then here on the bottom you see, I think I've shown it before in a few videos, but we'll kind of go through it in here as well. But the URs do have new illustration and animation visual effects in battle. So all in all, yes, Mimic URs are what you want to chase after at the end of the day. They're going to be the strongest ones with the most highest stats and whatnot. So all right, so I'll kind of explain this here. So Mimic UR development. So what that does, you can read it here. You need the current existing Mimic SSR Plus in order to evolve it into the UR rarity of that Mimic. So for example, I have Katia, Mimic US or Mimic SSR Plus. That's the only one. So I am able, mix up words, sorry, to evolve her into the UR version. Now, that's we'll kind of we'll go back. So as you can see here, the development, yes. It has all original skills, plus increased damage, healing, shield effects, and new skill mechanics. So it's almost a double, right? You're getting a little bit of the original and the new. For the weapons, as you know, some of the weapons are specific to certain stellars. That doesn't change. So if it's the same for the Mimic SSR Plus, is going to be the same for UR, so you don't need a summon for that. Now that is for the development, right? We're talking about development right now, no limits. Now usability, here we go. In order to summon a Mimic UR development, you need to have the Mimic SSR Plus already. So that's what I was talking about. It's usable 30 days after server launch, and it needs to merge with an SSR Plus Stellar. So for example, that mechanic hasn't changed. So as you guys, if you guys seen the video, I'll put it in the description, but the when I pulled Mimic SSR Plus Katia, she mimicked my SSR Plus Charmeleons, which was my highest star breakthrough at that time, because it has to be a Mimic it has to be a SSR Plus red, not a yellow. It could not mimic my Purgatory, which is technically my highest now, but it has to be an SSR Plus red to mimic. So that effect still plays, that mechanic still plays into for both the development and the perfect versions. All right. Yes, so like it says here, still needs to be advanced. It's illustrations. Yes, so the development and the Mimic UR are pulled in different banners. So they're going to be, so if you already have, I'm assuming from the way we have it, like I said, we haven't really seen it yet, but it pretty much is going to be, if you, the pool, I'm sorry, the perfect version is going to have its own banner changing, and then the Mimic SSR Plus one, or the development UR, is going to have its own. So two separate ones. So you have pretty much two chances or two different ways to kind of chase after these URs. So, so this is for development. Kind of breaks it down a little bit better. So 3 steps. 1, you need to pull the SSR Plus Mimic version, as we've all seen this before. And then once you pull it, 250 pulls is still the guaranteed summon rate, which is crazy. And then you're going to use your UR development permits in the UR pool. When the Mimic UR Stellar development becomes available, the Mimic UR Stellar pool will open in the game. You can pull for the UR development tools here, which are going to be its own Starseed tickets right there. Now, the UR character is guaranteed in 150 pools, which is the guarantee count in all development pools. Now that is going to be a different. So pretty much what you a side note is that both banners are going to use the same tickets. Let me say that again. The banner are going to be using the same tickets. So as you know, we have 3 different types of tickets right now. We have the Echo, we have the Advanced, and we have the red ones, which I believe Twilight or something like that. So we have the red, the yellow, and the purple, to make it easy for myself and for everybody. Tickets. Those are good, the 3 that you use for different banners, stuff like that. Now the Starseed, as you know, you can only get during the big events that they have, like for example the Academy Festival. You can get them there, and you get them weekly and daily in the actual Mimic SSR banner / pool, where it has like the boss mode and stuff like that. You can get some in there, but like I said, they do use both. So I believe some of it is open now because I was playing earlier, so we'll kind of step into that. Anyway, then you advance to the Mimic UR Stellar. So in the Mimic section, when you get there, tap Advance to advance your SSR Plus into a Mimic UR. This is irreversible. Once advanced, the original SSR Stellar will not be usable in battle. It will evolve. It'll go away and then change and transform into the UR version. So these are going to be the UR banner, how they're going to kind of look here. And like I said, here Starseed as well. 250 is the guaranteed for a UR Perfect. Development is going to be lower because you already have the SSR Plus. So these are going to be it here. So like I was saying, this like I said, this is all the info you need. It does a pretty good job of answering your questions, stuff like that. Like here's another section we'll go over. So this one actually tells you what to do essentially, like in each scenario. So like when you want to mimic UR development but don't have the Mimic SSR Stellar, you pull in this pool to get the Mimic first, and that's going to be the Mimic UR development. Right here, as you can see here, the UR development Mimic pool to get the Mimic, just to get the regular, and then the guarantee for that is 250 times, as you can see there. Now, the UR development is when you want a certain Mimic UR development. The pity for that one is 150 times. And then last, pull in this when you want a certain Mimic UR Stellar-Perfect, 250 times. And that's going to be the UR so there's going to be essentially 3 pulls. The UR development getting the regular SSR Plus version. The UR development, once you have that SSR Plus, this will open up for you, and then you can chase that version through there. Or you could say, forget it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go straight for the UR no matter what. Now you can do that, and that's going to be 250 pity summon. So when I say pity summon, that means 250 times you need to summon to guarantee get that unit or stellar. You can get it before. I think I got my Mimic on pool. It was like around 100 to 120 was when I pulled my Mimic. And then as you can see, the old pool was just the regular. Now, that is so this is talks about time frame. So as you can see here, they said the first Mimic UR Perfect will be early September, and the first Mimic UR Development will be mid-September. Now we are kind of towards the end, but we got one more week, and then the end of the September will be here, or I'm sorry, this upcoming week, and then October. So I'm not too sure if they're behind, because this is be the first time I've seen, because I did come in today, and there are 2 Mimic banners. So that's that. Let's move on. Like I said, if you need to rewind, go back, stuff like that. Okay, so here's the first. So Roxanne is in the Mimic SSR Plus banner. I wonder what's in that spot. That's weird. Okay. She looks dope though. All right, and then we got exclusive skin. Of course, let's claim the 2 hours. All right, so this is what, other than that, I mean, we're just going to talk about Mimics today pretty much. There's not really anything else going on new. Same event going on. This is the only new thing to talk about this week. And of course, we're going to review the new Mimics here. So as you can see here, we got Star Map Echo, Star Map Sonata. One's 5 days left, one's 12 days. So the Star Map Sonata, I believe this here, and sorry, I'm going to keep getting cut out here a little mishaps. Anyway, moving on. So this is the regular Mimic SSR Plus banner. As you can see here, the guarantee is 225, what I have left, but it is part of the 250 guarantee. So this is the, from what it looks like, the regular. If you don't have the Mimic SSR version yet, this is it. And then Victoria, as you guys know, was like about 3 weeks ago. Actually, I think this is the second time a rerun for her. And Meve was last week. I've been kind of skipping because, like I said, I've changed the kind of the times and dates when I do the video, so I'm kind of doing them 2 at a time in a sense. So Meve was last week, and then we have Luvia, which I believe is a rerun. Again, I believe so. Now, something that is a little frustrating that's changed, if you look up here in the top right, after this Star Map Echo ends, so 5 more days, the guaranteed attempts for the banner will carry over to the next event. Okay, that stayed the same. All right, so that means the other banner is the new one. Okay, so I misread that. I thought it said did not, but this hasn't changed. So this will still, you can still do like 10 summons this week, come in, sign in, get some more, do some other activities, get more, and then do another 10 summon next week and break down and bring down that guaranteed, and then kind of head rush it, or kind of like what I'm doing, stockpiling until you hit that Mimic you really want, and then use all you got to see if you get her. That's gonna be that, and then we're gonna go into, oops, not the Boon of Destiny. Now, Star Map Echo, Mimic SS. So this is the development. Okay, excuse me. As you can see here in the bottom, Roxanne is guaranteed after 150 more echoes. So this is the Mimic UR development banner. Now, because we don't have, or I don't have this Mimic SSR Plus, I have to summon for her first and then be able to attempt the UR development version. As you can see here, the pity is 150. You get SSR Plus after 50 summons. Now, as you can see here again, I will say up here in the top, same tickets. Same ones used for both banners. Now, top right again, let's look at this. Guaranteed count will reset after this banner ends. So that is a little bit of interesting concept. I wish it didn't. I wish they would just keep it. And that's really because Star Map, the Echo tickets are really, really hard to get and gather. There's not that many places that you can get them from, but I will say now we have a double chance So 14 free tickets a week for checking in and doing this. I will double check on that. And then, of course, if you want to pay, use the real money to get that, that's what that is there. But not as accessible to get these tickets. So 150, I feel like, is a lot, especially when all the other stellars in the game guaranteed pity is 50 summons, whether it's limited, SSR red, SSR yellow. It's 50 I think. No, 50. Yeah, 50, and you hit it guaranteed, which isn't bad. I mean, it's one of the best guarantees out there. So I wish they would have changed it a little bit more. I mean, I get it because mostly everything else is kind of forward, and it's a little bit of an AFK version RP manager, and not really a everyday kind of get in grind kind of game. I could see that, but I would have liked it if it was development was 100 and maybe the actual UR perfect was 150. That would have made a little bit more sense. The 250 I think is way too much. They need either, if they keep that, they need to change where we get these tickets from and give us a better chance of getting more, or at least get us a chance to get like at least 50 a week. Because if we don't, getting 7 to 10 a week is crazy. I mean, you're talking months of grinding to save up these tickets to be able to hit that 250 guarantee. So just a side note, just on something me personally, what I think. So anyway, that's going to be it for the Mimic UR information. So now we're going to look at these units, these stellars. So first one, we're going to go ahead, since we're here, we're just going to look at the Mimic SSR Roxanne. Take a look. Looks great. Love the background. I really like the artwork of the Mimic SSR pluses and the URs. They're really good. All right, so moving on. So we got attributes there, top right. I'm going to go these through kind of fast just because there's 3 of them and I don't want to make this video too long. So, okay, so skill 1, Scarlet Vortex. At the start of the battle, gains Alone in Whirl level 3, which is basic attacks deal only 50% of attack as physical damage. After performing basic attack, deals physical damage equal to 500%. That's insane. That's a lot. Okay. Passive regular, attack 50, HP 40, damage bonus plus 20. Interesting. Okay. Blood Fang Frostbite. Passive regular. When performing a basic attack with self HP below 70%, gains final damage increased level 4, which is increasing final damage by 25% for 1 turn. If HP is no less than 70%, gain an indispensable final damage level 4 for 1 turn. I'm guessing that means that you can't get debuffed, in a sense. Okay. Interesting. We just saw that. And let's look at the final. Passive regular, performing basic attack with self HP below 35%. Gains Red Tide level 3 for 1 turn, which is increases damage reduction by 30%. And restores 15% HP after taking action. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, for 1 turn. So that keeps happening until it's above 35%. Okay, Roxanne. Interesting. I like this. I wish I had the pities for it. Inherent damage, single burst, AoE exclusive weapon, powerful DPS. I can see the powerful DPS because of this Alone in Whirl. Interesting. Guide is always here. Oh, pair it with anybody you want. It looks like it's going to be more of an AoE focused stellar. So any other AoEs you got, or if you need a good one to headstrong your other ones when you have some good single attack target, I would go for this one. Now remember, 150 is the pity, and then to get the UR, you're going to have to hit it again. Just a heads up. All right, now I'm going back to, now I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% positive Luvia is a rerun. The same with Victoria. So we're just going to review Maeve. She's here. The pity is 250. This is the regular Mimic SSR Plus banner. So stats there. Let's look at the skills. All right, so we got Dawn of Prosperity, heals all allies for 10% of max HP, and grants the target's armor increase level 2 for 2 turns, which is increased armor by 20%. So we got a support, was it counter erosion, counter combo, healing and recovery. All right, so if you need the healer, if you need the support unit for your team, we got the Mimic SSR Maeve here for that. All right, attack 40%, HP 50%, healing effect plus 20%. Interesting, I like that. Forest heals the 2 allies with the lowest HP percentage for 20% of Maeve's max HP, which is always good when they do that because, of course, because she's a Mimic SSR, she's going to have the higher stats. So it's going to be a higher healing that she does of that 20%. All right. Last, passive regular reduces combo damage taken by 30% and damage over time taken by 30%. Not bad. There's a couple of DOT units out there as far as like Inferno, stuff like that. They have burn effects, the poison. There's a few of those out there. Decreased damage by 30%. That's not bad. This is interesting. Like I said, if you need that support, if you need that healing unit, now she's a little bit of both. So this is a good like little workaround, especially for a Mimic. To kind of help you get that good boost. All right, so those are it. Those are the two. And I think that's going to be it for this video, shipmates. We went over all that. Like I said, most of it was going to be information on the URs and the excitement for it. So, bam. So I do, so you can see here, you need to acquire one of these, which is going to be that, which pretty much when that banner comes, we'll summon. Hopefully it's soon because Blaze Edge Katia is amazing. I have read about it before. When she gets here, we'll do a full review, but look at that difference. Okay, cool. Looking ready to go. Bam. Can't wait. Super excited. The increase in attack and HP is absolutely insane. Speed doesn't change, but armor, everything else is good. So yeah, so I'm excited for these new URs that are coming. They're here. Yeah, like I said, here's another one that has the UR. Bam. So, and then as you can see here, you need to obviously to summon to get her, and the UR, it does see a prerequisite there. You do need the SSR version before hitting the UR. So that's it, shipmates. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Like the comments, put this video up to date, which is Saturday. You guys will see it here in a little bit. Keep watching. I'm gonna keep playing. Hopefully new games coming out. We got a few other ones out coming out. I'll be reviewing. I'm gonna give you guys an update on my progress in Anchor Panic, which is good. I love it globally. It's a different version of the game. We'll cover that and talk about that in the video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Fair winds and following seas. See you guys next time.